This video was brought to you by Challenger. Welcome to another Ashen casts. Today we are going to be casting Carrier's support Ashe. He's starting out in the left hand side on the blue team, together with Kana as Fiora top lane, running Grasp of the Undying, facing off against Camille, who's running Support and Teleport and Grasp as well. And then we have a Talia versus Lee Sin in the jungle matchup. Talia running the good old Dark Harvest as she likes to do. Fatio Ari on the Yone, who's running Exhaust. Interestingly enough, I question whether or not that is very good, but it is what it is. And it certainly is good versus Kalista, facing off against Agalio with Predator and Teleport. And then we have the bot lane matchup. Finally, Seraphine and Ashe, with Seraphine being AP carry. The one who's farming. And Kalista and Pyke. Very traditional roles. Very conservative. But still scary. And Kalista also running the cleanse versus the Seraphine. Now, Seraphine Ashe is an amazing comp because you can run Seraphine Ashe with Seraphine farming. You can run Seraphine Ashe with Ashe farming. And the slow of Ashe's W will result in a safe stun for Seraphine using her E. Her simple E, which obviously sets her up for a E, W, and then a double Q, or E, W, E, Q into W, W. Either way she wants to combo it. Much more value, and obviously is a huge improvement in damage or survivability for a Seraphine if she doesn't have to use her E to stun people, but she gets the stun for free. So we can throw a W in here. Yep, that's perfectly fine, as Seraphine is going to last hit these. And the lane is in a very uncomfortable state for someone like Kalista, but nothing to be worried about right now. Kalista still being Kalista. So we have a little bit of a fiesta going on in the jungle. Kills go over to Talia, then they go over to Pyke. And so Pyke ends up coming out victorious in this here combat. Makes him a little bit more scary, but he is the type of support that if he gets a lead, he only sometimes will translate it. He's a little bit of a coin flipper. And so we will see if he is able to get the Kalista Pyke lane ahead, because Kalista Pyke needs to get ahead early, because if they don't, there's going to be no mercy by Seraphine and Ashe. Seraphine Ashe, obviously, insanely amazing at just throwing W, throwing E, stunning a target, ulting, and the target is dead. So the lockdown is immense. The combo potential with Yone and with the Talia is given. And so we have a well-rounded, very strong bot lane with Seraphine and Ashe, no matter who is the one who's currently farming. It's very appropriate to the times what is going on with AD carry right now, where supports sometimes farm and sometimes the AD carries farm. Very much in the soul of role reversal. I like it. Very interesting. And Seraphine secures another cannon minion for herself, and every second that is ticking in this lane, Seraphine and Ashe are getting stronger, even if they're not getting ahead, as long as they manage to keep their flashes and their lives for themselves. Alright, keeping the flash, didn't work so well so far. But their lives they have kept so far for themselves. Ashe could have spent a little bit more mana, I would say. So that is questionable. However, Ashe also, once she gets tier, now she is, I would say, more ready to spam. And she has a pretty incredible W cost early on. And on Ashe support, what you do is you go W, E, W, W. You don't even level Q until later on. And then later on you turn into a base damage monster that doesn't really do a lot besides that, and slings ultimates. The lane is looking a little scary with Pyke and Lee Sin being in the jungle, threatening a dive or a hook and a chunk. Very interesting control board here, actually very smart placement, just in case Pyke has a ward that would allow him for a free hook. Comboed into Lee Sin. Damage could be lethal. And Seraphine, I'm pretty sure, is dead here. And the Galio ult even comes through, which I would say is on the troll side of things, to be honest. But it is what it is. And let me tell you, seeing we're currently teleporting for. Yep. Ah, it didn't hit. God damn, we're currently teleporting for Drake, obviously. And I think this Drake is probably going to go to the Kai'Sa lane team, because obviously Kai'Sa Pyke much more dominant right now, have a lot of control over the lane. They can say what they want and the lane will follow. And not only that, wherever the enemy team doesn't have vision, a Pyke could be lurking. Talking about the lurking Pyke. Pyke, the bro, will acquire another kill on Seraphine. And so Carrier is stuck between a Pyke and a hard place. The hard place being the Seraphine and her overextensions. And the fact that at this point, Lee Sin and Pyke will probably try to re-dive. Nope. Okay, so I think at this point it's safe to say the dragon is gone, because there is no reason for them not to dive unless they're taking dragon, so the dragon will be done. Kana doing a good job delivering. This is a very important time in the lane of Fiora versus Camille. Obviously Fiora being amazing versus Camille anyway, but this is a very important time. And we ended up being successful at obtaining the lead as Fiora, which is really good because that saves the team a lot of respite later on, because having a strong side laner is very good for obviously an Ashe support, right? But it is also super good for someone like Taliyah, who can create picks and opportunities around a strong side laner, being able to wall off people, being able to support in various ways. Now, we have a little bit of a CS difference in the mid lane. Galio apparently outperforming the Yone, but this is one of these games where Yone gets so incredibly much value with the Seraphine ult, with the Ashe, with the Ashe ult, with the Taliyah, that I think we should be fine, right? And he obviously is a super strong attack damage carry, so having Ashe support makes a lot of sense. Seraphine as the farming AP support or AP carry in the bot lane also makes a lot of sense, because Seraphine can put out a lot of damage later on, and especially once she gets to 3-4 items, her damage becomes pretty difficult to deal with between her ultimate, her stuns, her double Qs, and the constant healing, shielding, and stunning, slowing, queuing she puts out. Alright, whatever the question mark Mr. Yon is doing there. But as Ashe, one of your goals is to hit level 6 as quickly as you can. And this year, Ashe did not do that. This year, Ashe, matter of fact, still is level 5, where Pyke is level 6. So that is questionable. Obviously, also in part because the lane is already so far behind. And we also see Carrier kind of abandoning his AD carry, and that is a flash by Carrier and probably death. Oh, he survived very close. Very bad selection by Seraphine here. Seraphine needed to Q into an E here because the slow of the Ashe was still on the Kalista, so I think she would have bound her one way or another, and then she would have had more damage at her disposal. But you don't think of that in the second when your support is molested by Kalista. I get that. As I wouldn't be surprised if Seraphine dies to the Pyke here before Talia arrives. Seraphine using her flash, and it seems like Pyke has been shut down. Not actually shut down though, because the shutdown is on LSP Envy piloting that Kalista. But he has been killed and his plans have been ruined. They probably still not ruined, because this game still has a bright future for him. But for that, we need to, as I'm, what is going on with, what is going on with these builds? Why do we have a serrated Dirk into, no, what? I actually don't understand. Why do we have a serrated Dirk into a Noon Quiver? Because we thought we were further ahead and we wanted to build Eclipse, but we didn't? Maybe that. Good night, Seraphine, sweet princess. As you die another death, and your Ashe support despairs over the fact that it seems pretty useless to me. I will be honest, the Ashe support seems very useless to me right now. I feel like this is also not the lane where he can shine very well, but I don't feel like he's doing much, you know? I don't feel like he's taking over the game. I don't feel like he's having a lot of impact with his ults, as another ult misses in very classic. Did she just wait? If this Ashe ults, does she draw her head? Like her hat? It actually seems like it. Interesting. That could be a cool indicator. Even though a little bit strong, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I personally don't feel like the Ashe support is giving a lot of value here. And I've never felt like she was very strong in my games that I've played with it. Obviously, it can do well, right? It can have a good amount of lane dominance, and you know, it can generally do a pretty decent job at bullying early on. But for that, you also need a lane that can be bullied, and Kalista Pyke definitely is not a lane that can be bullied by someone like Ashe and Seraphine. Anyone who's hookable. But yeah, you see the instant bind right there on the targets that were hit by the W. And now Ashe is just powering up slowly. And I think the point where she's going to be very strong is the point where she gets the standard and where her ultimates are coming through, starting to just gain a lot of value. Even close quarters ultimates are going to be valuable versus someone like Kalista, as Seraphine is in a little bit of peril again. A bit of an issue that we're facing here. Again, Ashe is trying to give Seraphine a lot of breathing room, but I feel like she's not doing a lot, right? She's really being part of a lot of the fights. And I would say she hasn't really done a lot. And this is Keria playing, right? This is a very good player. Very impressive player as well. So we definitely can't say it is the player's fault, although to a certain degree, one could argue. I think this is a kill. I'm pretty sure this is a kill, right? Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful, but... Wait, what? Uh-oh. Well, now Keria's dead too. Well, that is a problem. No, you don't win this, Kana. Okay. Yeah, seems like we're alive. Nope, we're not alive. And that is a double kill for Kalista. The Ashe support, man. The Ashe support. It's not feeling too hot. Alright, let's see. So what is going on? Kalista 6-0. It is the Seraphine value though, right? So something that you shouldn't forget is that Seraphine later on just becomes a menace just because of her ultimate. So no matter how hard she loses, there is going to be a point where her value is undeniable. Especially with someone like the Ashe, who has a safe setup for ultimates. So we can Ashe ult into Seraphine ult, into, you know, W maybe, into E, something like that. Okay, beautiful, beautiful Ashe ult coming in. Forcing out that Kalista ult and nullifying the flash. Unfortunately, Seraphine. Still not 100% sure how she's supposed to play that. It would seem. And Ashe can now actually farm since her support item is fully evolved. Nope, yeah, now it is. So now she should be able to farm. Should be able to grab a couple more CS. But in true support main fashion, she's spending her life running around, placing and clearing wards. And kind of just checking out the terrain, seeing what's up, seeing what's happening. And watching his team slowly but surely claw its way back into the game. Now, Kalista, you have to be super careful with, please. Mrs. Ashe. Careful he is going to be as well. And we're going to try for a dragon here. Alright, this is the first dragon we were able to contest as the Ashe ult hits. And that is a pick on the jungler. That is a pretty big shutdown for Fiora as well. But Kalista has joined the fight and she decided to go for the support, which could be questionable. As her... Yep. As her shield bow is procced and Fiora kills her. And so just like that, the game is over. I wouldn't... The game is over. The game is back in... Let's say... Back in the potential for the blue side team to win. Just like that, with the dragon and 2 shutdowns. Pretty big shutdowns at that, right? Both of them. But I just can't see the Ashe value. Like I just don't feel the Ashe value is as good as some supports could be. Okay, very good. Body blocking for the Seraphine here, so Seraphine can get out of can get her damage out. Getting damage out she did for a second, but not really too well. And we have another death. And I think this is a blame the Seraphine angle. As Seraphine's positioning a little bit clunky from time. But again, right? Once we get to the point where where the Ashe ults can set up for Seraphine, and Seraphine can hit multiple people with her ultimate, and she is able to have a correct front to back fight, and she can throw in her Qs, lob her E's, stun people, bind people. There's just going to be a lot of lockdown available for the team. And yeah, as we see, Ashe is starting to farm, you know, a little bit. Starting to steal some stuff. Yep, taking it all. Alright, as the ultimate comes in, not really doing anything, I think. I think it hit the Galio, but didn't really matter. Galio might have W'd, but I think it was his ultimate. Nope, it was a flash, I think. Pretty sure. Yes, most definitely it was a flash. I didn't realize that this overlay would show you the flashes. As Yone is connecting, and the Seraphine ult could have connected, but Galio coming in with a clutch ultimate into everyone dying. That was tragic. That could have been a really, really good Seraphine angle. But unfortunately, Galio's ultimate moved him out of the way just like that. And so Kalista wasn't getting hit. And if Kalista doesn't get hit, this game is not looking good. Alright, we're Wing, we're ulting. And yeah, the cooldown reduction is real. And so this is kind of the point where Ashe is starting to, you know, really create some value again, because the lower her ult cooldown together with obviously her like mandate, right? The more she can help, and obviously, you know, she's able to apply that mandate a bunch. She's able to provide a decent amount of value, and I'm very scared for Kana. I'm super scared for Kana. Seems that Kana is doing fine. Picking up a kill on the Lee Sin. Clutching it out. That is going to be a dead Kana with Galio following him. And Kalista jumping for her life. No W was hit by Ashe, and so the E didn't stun. But that is most definitely a dead Kalista without GA. And so just like that, Kalista also lost basically an item worth of value, right? Losing the GA early on is still okay, because it gives you a good amount of value, but it is not okay if you die like this, because in this situation, the GA revive didn't get you any value. And so, you know, you could have had another item here, like a Bloodthirster, that could have maybe given you one more kill. Could have had an Infinity Edge, although questionable that she would go for that, but you could have had an Infinity Edge. And generally, you could have had a little bit more value than the GA's 80. Right. Kind of doing cleary things, nothing crazy. I don't know, Ashe support also has this like thing where she just like runs around, spams W, and then she hits her ultimates. And like the ultimates are a little bit of skill expression, but I feel like someone like Nautilus feels much more expressive of skill. You know, when hitting good ults, when hitting good Ws. And the Lee Sin has been picked off, as I was talking about, you know, the Ashe. And so we are going to attempt a Baron. I don't know about the Baron. Ashe ult is going to land. Beautiful Seraphine ult. And that is the Kalista taken out, and that is the Baron going over to the blue team. And we're clawing our way back into the game. I was expecting exactly this to happen. Yone and Seraphine have great synergies. They did play it well. And so we end up with Kana pretty much taking his team on his back, carrying them through the early game. And now, slowly but surely, The Yone and the Seraphine are starting to take over. Is this an ultimate that's supposed to hit the recall? It is. It didn't work though. Too bad. Alright, we're... Yep. We are starting to build up some dominance, some deeper map vision, and with the split push of Kana, I think we now have a very, very good win condition with the mid lane and jungle duo taking the top lane turret, Kana taking bot lane, and our two protagonists taking the mid lane. This is exactly what I was talking about with the Talia, right? Talia, no matter what exactly ends up unfolding, she has a lot of mobility, she can do a lot of things. If she was mid lane now, she would be able to help out the Fiora as well, which could have been pretty useful, but obviously she ended up ulting mid lane because the bot lane was a little bit out of position and she didn't feel safe about it. Galio is probably going to die due to a absolutely boosted Zhonya, but no, he flashes out of it. Better he does that. Better run. Big shutdown on Pyke and the instant cleanse on the Kalista, but that means for the next ultimate, Kalista is not going to have that anymore. And that also includes the Seraphine ult. One thing that you can notice is that Seraphines, a lot of the time in these high elo games, they don't ult on them on their own. So something that if you play a lot of Seraphine, maybe think about champions that can set up your ult, and maybe think about setting up your ults based off stuns. Huh? Obviously, if someone is in front of you and stuff, right? Clearly, you still use it, but it is a thing, and it is a useful thing to make sure you hit at least that first target with that Seraphine ult, because the value is incredible if you hit multiple people. But Seraphine ult is also very good at just locking down one target and zoning everyone off that target, kind of, you know, making them move away. Okay, absolute grief ultimates. All right, great. 10 out of 10. So yeah, okay, is there any ultimate that we could throw away at this point? Yeah, there's Fiora ultimate, but Fiora used her ultimate a little bit better. Kana being an absolute powerhouse, stunning the AD carry, and Mr. Kana takes the victory again for himself. I know this is a Carrier review, but Carrier hasn't really done much except throwing W's and hitting some arrows. Not really very noticeable, except I don't know, some. Obviously, one thing that Kana does, and this is where you see him right very well with the support basics, right, is that he has the fundamentals down. He does a really good job at clearing the wards, you know, rotating, thinking about the plays, and generally supporting his team, body blocking for his AD slash, in this case, AP carry, and trying to apply himself wherever he can, as limited as it is with Ashe. Now, the amazing thing about Ashe, right, is that her every auto attack W applies the mandate, and so she absolutely is a big fan of it. As he tried to cancel Pyke's recall. I don't know if that is necessary. I mean, the dragon is coming up in a bit, right? And that is why he did it, is because it delays Pyke. But I don't think that it would have delayed Pyke enough. And losing your ultimate before dragon also isn't optimal. Probably coming back up though, as it probably is about like 60 seconds at this point or less. and so it should be coming up during or a little bit after the dragon respawn. Yep, there it is. No arrows have been hit, and that is, I mean, I think the carrier arrows are lacking a little bit here. It's not so optimal. But we do have a very interesting game because it is a very close game. And, you know, looking at Kana and, well, the way that the enemy bot lane is performing, Kai'Sa, we do have a head-to-head race here when it comes to who can carry harder. I personally think that the team comp with Seraphine has more late game potential just because Seraphine and Yone are such crazy late game champions. But then again, Kalista together with the Galio knockup is also quite valuable. Okay, whatever the hell happened there, but that is most definitely a dead It's a dead Pike. Big shutdown going over to Kana again, but Kana also dying to the Kalista, dying to about 1 million needles in his back. And they didn't end up killing Galio. They didn't end up killing Kami. But beautiful Ashe arrow caught out the Kalista. And this is where I would say, yep. Now we can talk about the Ashe support being justified. This is also a little bit what I was talking about, right? With Ashe support just being really good once she gets her mandate and some cooldown reduction stuff, because she does okay damage. She does much better when it comes to the lockdown, and she does really good when it comes to vision and stuff like that, because her E kind of is an unkillable blue trinket for time being, right? Or it pretty much is a blue trinket, right? When it comes to vision. To check Baron, which is pretty good. And obviously being an AD carry, she is also able to clear wards pretty well and get stuff done that way. I think the builds still are very interesting. Oh. Ah. I mean, I don't see that anyone could have followed up on this though. So I feel like his ults are a little bit coin flippy. But that's also just the case with a lot of Ashe ults. Like if you look at Ashe players, a lot of them throw their ults out and then the ult is gone and it missed, and that's just life. So you know, I'm at this point used to it a little bit. Tiny bit. Alright, Seraphine has acquired Rylai's, which means the synergy with Ashe is irrelevant now. I'm not a big fan. I'm terribly sorry for the background noise, but construction is continuing and I can't do anything about it. So you guys will just have to deal with some background noise. Hopefully it's not too loud. I'm already almost kissing my microphone, so you know, can't reduce it much more as Yone takes that damage to Stackers. Yeah, I think that's valid. Oh, blue buff picked up by the jungler. I would have personally given that to Seraphine, I think, but I guess it makes sense. And we're fighting about a Cloud Dragon, so Cloud Dragon isn't really that valuable, and maybe it could be a good idea to flip it for a Baron. Maybe we go for a Baron instead of the Cloud. Probably not going to happen though. This is the kind of thing that you would do in pro play maybe, but definitely not in solo queue. Solo queue is probably just going to be what is the objective that just came up? That is going to get contested, and then we just run there. And I was wrong yet again. We are contesting Baron. And Seraphine actually is a big fan of starting it, so she starts it. It's a flip. It's a flip and a half, but I think that the Ashe ult. Oh, it's a tragedy. Ah, Yone, why would you ult the Pyke? Okay, so the upside is that Kalista ultimate is gone, but the problem is that Kalista ultimate pretty much is only going to be used to pull Pyke in. Because what Pyke does is he can like E-flash now and she can pull him back in. But throwing Pyke in there, not that good. Can be okay, but it's not that crazy. It's not an Alistar that you're throwing in. It's a squishy Pyke. So if you don't hit everyone, then you pretty much just created a free ultimate. And we're starting again. With Ashe ulting what exactly? Oh, she ulted the Galio so he can't follow up. I don't know if that is a good ultimate. I think that ulting Kalista here would have been much better, for example. But we do end up acquiring the Baron, and Lee Sin is dead. And the Yone ult, I think, is connecting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But it isn't enough. No one's dying. And Kana tried to play the vision game, but Camille's not stupid enough to fall for that bait. She knows better. And a good Ashe ult hitting the Galio and probably spelling his death. Yone is trying to get out of there. Beautiful pickup on the Camille. Yone flashes in to collect that Galio, and that is a free freaking game. Wait, it's actually not a free game because the enemy AD carry is still alive. Ashe, this looks like a job for you. So everybody, let's hope that Ashe hits her ultimate this time. Okay, well, like this, I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, she did. I mean, you know, she did hit it, but like, that is not the situation where you need to hit it. I don't know. I don't see how that is a good one. I don't see how that is a good one, to be honest. Like a good ult. It's so coin flip. But yeah. He definitely is coin flipping his ultimates quite a bit. Alright, we recall to get some wards back. And now we didn't really use our Baron too well. So unless we can get a pick on Kalista or someone of her caliber when it comes to carry potential, I don't think that the Baron did very much for us, except obviously further our lead a little bit. And oh, actually make us catch back up in a lead as 5k gold lead. Yeah, Pyke has been hit. Yone ulted, but the Pyke is out. Yeah, ulting Pyke is not the best idea, because Pyke has Mercs, he has his E, he has his W, and he has Kalista ultimate. So he has very, very good mobility and a lot of sustain. Alright, Kalista is going mid lane. Alright, we're hitting a stun on pretty safe targets here. Is it a good stun? I'm not sure. It is definitely a stun that has been used though, so it can't be used in the team fight. But we did acquire another inhib. Galio's probably not going to take our inhibs, so the blue team slowly but surely furthering their lead. And that is a beautiful Yone into Seraphine ult combo. with both GAs being procced and Ashe ult probably being available pretty soon again. They should be able to pick up the win here. A beautiful performance by the Yone in the end there. Right? Ashe ult, is it available? That is the question. It should be available. Yeah, you can see the stupidity of proccing Mandate every second auto attack. Yeah. The Galio Predator coming in, and that is the Ashe ult connecting. I would say not so well, to be honest. Connecting with Galio. I think that could have been a little bit more optimal, but you know what? What am I watching? Like, what the hell am I watching? It's fine. And that is a W for Carrier on that Ashe support. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay awesome.